Thank you for joining us live. Super excited about today's topic, Google Local Services Ads. Thank you all for attending. Really appreciate it. This is Gregg Towsley from Grow Plumbing, and today we're discussing Google Local Services Ads. Before we begin, a couple items about today's webinar. There is no need to take notes. The slides and the video and the presentation and the resource kit will be provided to everyone at the end of this meeting. Hopefully get that out later on this afternoon. So let's jump right into it. I'm super excited about today's topic. Google Local Services Ads is really a game-changing program that Google has been rolling out over the last couple of years now. So here you should be able to see my screen here. Let me flip to the next slide here. Yep, you should be able to see my screen here, which is today's agenda. If not, please type a message in the chat box within the GoToMeeting interface, which is over on the right-hand side. You can type your questions in there. You can type in, where you're from, where you're located. This is definitely an interactive session, so please ask any questions. You can ask questions just, excuse me, just by typing them in the box, or we can open this up to a discussion at the end of about 25 to 30 minutes when the session is over, and I might pause throughout to answer any of your pertinent questions. So I know this program really well. I have 4 clients that we've onboarded into Google Local Services. I've had multiple visits to the Google headquarters up in Mountain View for meetings on Google Local Services. And our clients are really seeing amazing results. And that's why I'm calling this program a game-changing program, and probably the biggest thing that Google has rolled out in some 10, 15 years that I've been doing digital marketing. We're seeing a total cost per lead and higher conversion rates on this particular program than we've seen any other place. So today we'll cover what are Google Local Services Ads. Sometimes they're called Google Home Services. They changed the name about 6 months ago. I think that was getting a little bit confused with the Google Home, which is the Alexa competitor. It's that thing that sits on your counter or in your bedroom or wherever, and you can actually talk to it. So they changed it from Google Home Services Ads to Google Local Services Ads. Sometimes it's called Google Guaranteed because you see that Google Guaranteed button there. Other times it's referenced as GLS or GLSA for short. But today's, for the sake of conversation, we're going to be calling it the long version, which is a mouthful, Google Local Services Ads. So we'll cover in today's talk what companies and industries is this program eligible for, and what are the geographies that are live with this program, and what are the geographies that are launching next. We'll also cover how does the program work from a user perspective, from a customer of yours, and then also how does it work from a business perspective. We'll get in and cover that. We'll also educate you on the pricing for this program and how Google charges for these ads. We'll also get into the onboarding and preparing when Google Local Services Ads are coming to your area, if and when. We'll also get into, if you are already on the program, how to best optimize to get the best bang for your buck. Lastly, I'll answer any questions on Google Local Services, and if I don't know the specific answer, I will hunt it down to the best of my ability and get back to you on that. So what are Google Local Services Ads? Here you can see a screenshot of what it looks like in the wild. And if you're on this call, most likely you have seen these ads on a Google search. Maybe not in your area, but you've certainly seen screenshots. We're not the only we're not the exclusive marketing company that handles this for Google. So if you're on this call, most likely, sorry, I was just checking to see if the audio is coming through for everybody. Looks like it is. Great. So most likely you've seen the screenshots and what it looks like. So a couple key points here. Google Local Services Ads is a pay per lead program, very different than pay per click from Google. So again, pay per lead. You only pay for a qualified lead. We're seeing the cost of a lead being a phone call or a contact form submission, anywhere between $17 and $39. And that is depending upon the business category and also the geography of where you're located. Example, for the plumbing area, Denver is $26 per lead. Philadelphia, $19 per lead. Los Angeles, $23 per lead, and so on. That's for plumbing specific. So the cost is a fixed cost. There's no for each category for each vendor, at least for a certain period of time. And to the best of my knowledge and from what I've heard, the cost per the geography, per the category, is going to stay fixed for each advertiser, and it's not going to change. It's not going to move over to a bidding process or bidding platform, which is like Google. So for example, the cost per lead for an eligible qualified company in Los Angeles for the plumbing category is $23. So it's $23 per lead for every single company that is part of this program. So we'll get into more details around billing and cost. And one point to add is that according to Google, this is a beta program that is invitation only. So we'll cover that, but that's an important point we wanted to make here. So let's talk a little bit about the history of this program and where it originated. So originally, it was launched as a replacement for Google AdWords pay-per-click program, which we're all pretty familiar with. AdWords is the largest, most profitable advertising platform ever created. Although at this stage, it is not a replacement for AdWords pay-per-click. It's actually a nice complement to pay-per-click advertising. So Google Local Services Ads, which you saw on the screen previously, are always showing up above the pay-per-click ad if it's live within your geography. And now that's to the best of my knowledge, although it was brought to my attention that in the last week that the Google Local Services Ads appeared below the pay-per-click ads. So you had the 3-pack of the pay-per-click ads, then you had the Google Local Services. I haven't seen that, but Google is constantly testing and trying out new things. So hopefully the reason that you're on this call is you see the opportunity for you to grow and expand your business utilizing a platform like this. So a little bit history about, before we cover why or the problem and the reason why Google is launching this program. The program started back in 2015, which is when we were originally contacted by Google as a partner, and that's when they started to formulate the team at Google and start to put in some of the infrastructure. And originally it was set up for locksmiths, number one, and plumbing companies. Now the program is live for HVAC, locksmiths, plumbing, and actually 10 other home services companies and industries. So originally back in 2000, actually it's not 2005, 2015. Sorry about that. That's a little error right here. But it started off in 7 California cities, roughly around January 2007. So it was San Francisco. You can see from the map here, it was primarily just around San Francisco when they were launching this beta, trying to work out all the bugs and get everything up and running. And then fast forward in about June of last year, well, it went live in about 7 California cities, including San Diego, Los Angeles, Sacramento, Stockton, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, that area there. So it was live in 7 cities in California for about a year. And then the first one outside of California was Philadelphia, which launched back in June. I'm not sure why they chose Philadelphia, but that was the first East Coast company. And now fast forward, we'll get into it, but August, Phoenix and Seattle, and then November was about 20 cities. And now soon, my prediction is going to be pretty much countrywide that they're going to be rolling this out, although it's going to take quite a bit of time. So you're probably asking yourself, why would Google launch this? So the reason why Google is launching this program, and it's my belief, is the reason is pretty much three reasons why I believe that Google is launching this. Number one is to keep up with this changing market. Number two is to cut down on online scams and to clean up bad advertiser. We've all seen those ads, for a $39, drain cleaning service or a $29 locksmith. Well, who's really going to come out and unlock your car or your house for $29, or how could you possibly do drain cleaning for $39? So to clean up bad advertisers. Number three is to create a better, more trusted user experience for searchers, i.e. Google's customers. So let's look at these three. One is the changing market, two is to cut down on the scams, and then three is to create a better user experience. So number one, the changing market. Google is not the first company to get involved in this $450 billion home services market. If you look at some of these companies that are listed here on the screen, we can compare how Google Local Services is different and how they compare or contrast. So let's take a hard look at some of these companies and how they perform. So as a plumbing and/or HVAC company, I'm 100% positive that you're familiar with Home Advisor and Angie's List. IAC, which is Barry Diller's company, which owns Home Advisor, recently bought Angie's List. And by the end of the year, Angie's List and Home Advisor is going to come out with a brand new platform. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like. But generally speaking, the quality and the quantity of leads from Angie's List and Home Advisors has been slowly dropping off throughout the years. And more people are trusting Google and Yelp, whether you like them or not, as a trusted advisor. So there's also a couple of new ones that are on the screen here, new up-and-coming companies, such as Thumbtack and Service with a Z. And these companies are interesting. Service, which is the old Reach Local folks, is essentially free advertising. And the way that Service and Thumbtacks works is they take a percentage of the business that you generate from the customer. So Thumbtack and Service are free advertising, and you only pay, or you get credits to which are allocated to your account when you do a quote or when you close business from a customer. And generally, which is similar to Amazon, Service and Thumbtack would like to take the payment from the customer, which is a little bit different. Moving on, we could talk about Yelp advertising, but basically Yelp charges you to remove competitors from your Yelp page, and then they charge based upon impression or pay per click, which is not a very transparent model. It's also Yelp. You can also consider that similar to Google AdWords or Google pay per click. So let's look to see how these compare to Google Local Services. Google Local Services is drastically different than pay per click. So I want to make sure that that's clear to everybody. But think about it. Google's the #1 spot where people turn to find a service provider, to check references, to see reviews, and to check to see that the quality of that company. Fortunately or unfortunately, Yelp is #2 as the trusted source where people look to see reviews, to check out a company if it is legit, just to make sure that they're not going to get scammed or let a creepy person inside their house. So Google Local Services goal is to create a better user experience for the user by vetting service providers, doing background checks, checking licenses, and maintaining the reputation and reviews for that service provider. Also, Google is looking out for you as the owner of the plumbing or the HVAC or the service providing company by providing you with a lower cost per lead to acquire a customer and a better and a higher quality lead. So they're really trying to solve the problem on both ends, and we'll cover why this is important and how they're looking to accomplish this. But remember, you as the business, it's the cost per lead is a fixed cost of roughly between $19 and $39 per lead. So let's jump into a little bit more on the background and the history. So Google Local Services Ads is not exclusive to plumbing or HVAC. There are 10 verticals in which they are rolling that out. So you can see from my screen here the 10 verticals. Interestingly, they've chosen these verticals, and there are many other verticals that I believe that they are targeting, such as pest control and roofing. But predominantly plumbing, HVAC, and locksmiths are their top 3 that they look to go to market within a specific geography. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this, but Google is constantly changing and constantly testing. As I mentioned before, the other day it was brought to my attention that so here you can see some examples on the screen. It was brought to my attention that the other day that the Google Local Services ads were actually below the pay-per-click ads, which I haven't seen, but it's not surprising to me at all. So you can see the different examples that they've tested throughout the years. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see that they originally had a picture of the owner of the company, and then they had the phone number over here on the right. That lasted for a little while. Then over here on the next one, they had a map, and then they had the Google Local Services, and you can see that it says Google Guaranteed. Here they had a call to action, which is see roughly 25 years experience or eco-friendly, and then down here at the bottom, which is the most consistent feature of ads that we've been seeing, is the 3 block. So 3 advertisers, the Google Guaranteed with the phone number, the C reviews, and the stars. And honestly, getting involved with this program back in 2015, myself and my business colleagues were highly skeptical. This is, we thought that this would be just another experiment from Google. Once the Google executives get wind that this is cutting into some of the revenue from AdWords, this program, that the Google Local Services ads would probably be cut. They'd cancel the program, and this happens all the time with Google. They run fast in one direction and then they quickly change directions. I'm not sure if you folks remember, but remember Google Reader and most recently Google Music. So they're constantly testing, changing, and canceling stuff if it doesn't seem to work. But to my wonder, the Google Local Services Ads program is going strong. If anything, they've hit the gas pretty hard within the 8 to 10 months. And my prediction, I could be completely wrong, but it will expand into other verticals. And for the plumbing, HVAC, locksmiths, I see them rolling this out into at least the major cities throughout the United States, but it will take some time. So let's get into where this program is going. And on the left-hand side of the screen here, you can see the cities on the red list here, the cities that are already live showing these ads. And over here on the right-hand side, you can see the cities that they are currently recruiting for. I'll get to explain what that means. And these cities over here on the right-hand side. Well, let's look at a visual. It'd be much easier to take a look at here. So here you can see the map, and the little pointers or the icons that are red are where Google Local Services ads are live. So if you want, you could search, Phoenix plumbing companies and see what the Google Services ads look like. They'll show up. I could be wrong, but they'll show up on every single search. And then the green dots here are the cities that are potentially going live, according to Google, by the end of May. But my history tells me that if they say by the end of May, it'll be like more the end of June or July. They've been getting better at hitting deliverable dates, but these cities that are listed here in green, or if you could see from here listed out, and again, you'll get these slides so you can reference this, are the cities that are going live, and then they're just going to continue to expand and roll out this program as quickly and as efficiently as they possibly can.